I'm super excited, amped up, stoked to welcome him to the show. As always, you're watching live here on Twitch, but of course you can listen whenever you like on the Gun Show Podcast, Adobe Radio, Spotify, Amazon, Apple. Made exclusive deals with everybody. That's how we roll. Let's go. I'm pumped up. Enough of me. Let's get to him. Right now, my buddy Phil. What's up, buddy? How the fuck are you, buddy? What's up,
man?
dude?
How you doing?
Dude,
Doing good, doing good. Just trying to stay dry here right now. It's kind of mental. We got like a full-on rainstorm happening.
so I saw that because I get all my news now, unless I'm reporting it myself, via Insta Stories and TikTok. And it seems like all my LA friends, as I was swiping up on my Insta story, was just like, and rain, and somebody's Airbnb was flooding, and somebody's pool was overflowing. Like craziness, right, man?
Yeah. Oh, it's like mental, man. It was like relentless yesterday, like hardcore rain, like all day.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
So it's funny because like LA has no what's worse with LA is it the rain or is it the snow?
I don't think
feel
I've
like you
ever
guys
seen.
are screwed on both ends though, right? It doesn't really snow though too
Yeah,
much there, right? I don't know what you would do if it snowed.
I don't think I've ever seen snow here. But I'm sure it's happened. But yeah, I mean, the rain just like the place just falls apart, man. No one knows what to do with themselves.
No, that
Turns into a war zone when there's rain here, for real.
dude, for real, it's funny. So I was in Nashville where I'm at right now, and I was here last year, and they got like a dusting, literally straight up a dusting, and they didn't know what to do. Like people were like lined up outside Kroger's for hours trying to
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's gonna be a blizzard. People were spitting out because they think they can still go 75 and 80 miles per hour on snow.
Oh yeah.
Thinking their giant trucks can just be like, oh, I'm bigger than this. Meanwhile, the snow, Mother Nature always wins. Am I right, Phil?
Oh, that's very true. I think we've need to learn that lesson quicker than anything, I think.
Can you make that a song title? Mother Nature always motherfucking wins.
Yeah, it'd be a super depressing song, but we'll just call it "We're All Fucked." I
Right.
think it's a more appropriate title.
We're speaking here with our buddy Phil Thorpe. Of course, he's you've seen him throughout various bands and whatnot. He's got some great music that we're going to talk about for all of you. We're going to have some fun. We're going to shoot the shit. The chat room is open for anybody out there. Come join us. What up? What up? What up? I want to say this. Last time I saw you, buddy, is I felt like we bonded, and I don't mean that in a weird way or like a kind of like whatever, like a kind of emotional way.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was fucking. I guess let me rephrase that. It was fucking cool to hang out with you for the When We Were Young festival, especially that kickoff.
Yeah.
I like walked in and like it's the first day of this music festival, Las Vegas, and I was like hosting the kickoff party with and there were going to be great band members there, and like it's sold out, and everyone's begging to get there, and some of the biggest bands, our peers, are all going to be bowling and doing things and charity and all this shit. And so you get there early, very early. Tremendously early. Nobody really knows what's going to go on at these kinds of events. And I walked in and I was like, I know Phil. I feel good. You know what I mean? You know how it is, right? Like you walk in.
We had a little. We had a little like date afternoon and went and got some beers.
We cracked some beers and we're just like, yo, let's have a damn good time, because it was like, dude, everybody was there. Like, No Effects was there. To, of course, the homies like Take Back Sunday. To obviously John Feldman. Anytime Feldy's around, everyone wants to do like a good job around him. Goldfinger got to perform. Like, it was just a cool thing all around. But man, you and I talked for, I think, like longer than we talked in the last 5 years combined.
Yeah, totally, man. Yeah, I mean, we were hanging out like pretty much all day waiting for things to happen, and everything was delayed. And I mean, it was just chaos, man. Like, and then when the thing opened, like you said, like, they had some issue with the guest list, and there was like people who couldn't get in that like definitely needed to be in, and it was pretty chaotic, honestly. Yeah, it was good time.
But it was definitely a good time. I've talked about this. It was almost like what they did was it was all for charity. It was a great event Kevin Lyman put on, but it was a cool thing because it was almost like super groups. And at one point, man, one of my favorite parts of the night, besides like Goldfinger, doing songs, which was absolutely incredible, of course, was you were on stage playing bass. You had Nick from All American Reject. You had Marco from Sugar Cult. And you had Steven from Anberlin all performing at the same time, dude. That's like, dude, Sugarcoat, Rejects, you are like, you're obviously formerly neck deep and stuff to the stuff you're doing now, to
Yeah.
Amberlin, to Medina Lake on the drums. There's so many good songs amongst all those writers, dude.
Yeah, it is good, man. The funny thing about that is too, like when it's the second time I've done that thing for them, and like they kind of, I don't want to say they do it on the fly, but they have like a list of songs, like this massive kind of playlist of songs that they want to hit, and they're just kind of like, which ones do people want? It's like you're getting up there and you don't even necessarily know who's going to be up there with you. You're just sort of like rolling on to do your part, and you kind of look to your left and right, like, oh, cool, Marco's on this. That's cool.
Yeah. You're like, I'm jamming out with him today. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna go out on this Third Eye Blind song or whatever. Like, this will be fun. Like,
yeah, man. No, it was definitely a good time, of course, when we were on festival. Shout out, because it actually, it didn't happen the second day, but it definitely went the third day. Second day got postponed because of the wind and whatnot. But listen, once again, Mother Nature wins. I think.
hey, man. She reared her ugly head and she made a call and said, "Not today, not today."
We're speaking here with Phil. Of course, you can follow him, Phil I.S. Thorpe. Phil is Thorpe, and a lot of cool things happening with you, obviously, in the world of music and beyond, man. We want to talk about that. We want to get you some followers. We want people to kind of get an update on what you've been up to, because you told me about it a couple months ago. And also, we want to shoot the shit and have some fun. So before we delve into that, though, man, how are you doing? How was the New Year's? How's all that shit? Did anything change?
Not yet. We're only 10 days in. Life seems pretty standard so far, but it's good, man. It's been a nice week. I'm busy. I got lots of work on, so that's cool. That's kept me going. And New Year was great. I actually DJ'd this party, and it was like kind of this indoor outdoor party, and it thought it was gonna get rained off because it was like a crazy rainstorm, but they like went ahead with it, and it ended up just being this like chaotic party in the rain, and it was really, really sick.
There you go. It's like kind of almost like it's like the show must go on. But
yeah, pretty much.
With enough alcohol involved, though, it's kind of like, all right, let's roll. Like,
yeah, especially on like New Year's Eve, I feel like you're not gonna revisit that. You're not gonna like push it. You're either doing it or you're not.
When you were touring for all those years, what was that's a pretty good question. When you were touring all those years and whatnot, what was like the holiday that you most look forward to? Or was it like, I know a lot of bands love like Halloween, and like the different bands will always dress up. Were you on the road for like a New Year's Eve type thing, or were you kind of always home for that?
I don't think we ever did a New Year's Eve. We definitely did Halloween because we did that slip neck thing that was a whole kind of moment which got very out of hand, but was incredibly fun. I remember we were on the road a couple of times for like Thanksgiving, but being a band from England, like we didn't celebrate Thanksgiving anyway, so it didn't really mean anything to us to be on the road for that. But yeah, I'd say Halloween. I can't think of any other like big holidays. I mean, like 4th of July, like Warped Tour and stuff, but that's kind of thing. And then obviously like Christmas, but like you're not playing shows on Christmas.
Right,
like
you're not doing. What about St. Patrick's Day? I feel like the band would have loved St. Patrick's
Oh
Day.
yeah, so we actually, crazily enough, kind of by chance, we played a show in Dublin with All Time Low on St. Patrick's Day one year. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was like 2017, 18, maybe 19. No, it wouldn't have been 19. I don't know. But we happened to be in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day with All Time Low, and yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I remember just like going out of the venue and just like wandering around for a bit afterwards, and it was just chaos. It was just fucking chaos. Like,
yo, St. Patrick's Day, especially like Chicago, New York City, like for us, like here here, it's like an excuse to it's just a reason for people just to go wild. Now, what is it like in Dublin though? I mean, that like because it's all eyes on Dublin, like you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's Ireland, like St. Patrick, let's go.
I mean, we didn't like get to super like go out or anything. I think we were like moving on, but we definitely like. I remember like going out of the venue after the show and kind of just like walking around. I think we went to like a pub or something, and just like the streets were just chaos. It was just like, just madness on the street. It was kind of like New Year's Eve energy, just like everyone going crazy. And yeah, totally by chance too. I don't think it was even like a planned thing to be there. It just happened to be the island date of the tour on that day. So
dude, that's a hell of a thing to wake up to, where they're like, oh, tour manager's like, oh, by the way, it's also St. Patrick's Day, and you're like, what? It's like, and we're here. Let's
might be scared. Like, this is a lot.
It's like, well, shit. Oh man,
that was cool though,
dude. That's a great story, man. Like, I feel like I'm all about like. I want to experience that. I want to experience like maybe like a Halloween. Like I want to go to like Salem maybe one time, like for
That
like
would be
that.
sick.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I kind
definitely
of
a
want to
big
like,
Halloween fan.
or like maybe like a New Orleans for like I feel like I want it like during Jazz Fest or maybe like an Oktoberfest
Yeah,
overseas. I feel like I'm just thinking about this right now. I want to make a coherent effort to
yeah.
go to cool things that are based on places and be in those places.
I think that's a great idea, man. I think you should just schedule the whole year around the celebrations. That sounds like a good
Do you hear
plan.
that? For 80 of my sponsors out there, send me to the coolest badass places
Yeah.
and let me bring Oktoberfest. Yo, let me be in where Germany. I think it. I don't know where. I think it's Germany. Wherever
I
Oktoberfest
think
takes
that's like
place.
the main hub. I think like kind of all over a lot of Europe at that time. I think they
Yeah,
just go crazy.
love
So
that. Perfect. So
I'll
sign me
come with
up.
you. That sounds great.
And bring my buddy Phil. He'll be my plus one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna DJ. We'll do the whole thing. We'll crush it. Absolutely. For
Oh yeah.
everybody out there, lots of fun. So listen, Phil. So I want to obviously we'll talk some emo music. We'll talk all that. We'll play some trivia in just a couple minutes. But I want to kind of bring this up, man, because you know you've always been a great dude and a humble human being, but you're also incredibly talented. And of course, like I said, people know you. You know, people from the scene, quote unquote, know you throughout the years. Obviously, neck deep, and you know that was a great time and a lot of fun, and you know, and that was part of your life. And you've since moved on. We know about that. We don't have to talk about the the old days or anything anymore. Because you've also been able to do music, and I remember we were talking, and like there was you were starting a new project, and things were really happening, and then of course pandemic happened, and you know that really ruined a lot of people's lives, but also especially the live event industry and no live shows, and then everything got put on hold. Give us an update on what music are you working on? What can you tell us? What are you can you not tell
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
but still tell us?
No, for sure. Lots to talk about, man. Yeah. So obviously, like you said, like kind of right before the pandemic, I had started this new project called World's First Cinema with my buddy John Sinclair. It's just the two of us, and we were making this like weird kind of like cinematic rock stuff. And it was going to be this like sync project at first, and then we were just like having so much fun making the music. We were like, oh shit, maybe this is actually a thing, because I didn't really have any intention of like doing another sort of band project in that sense. You know
Right.
what I mean? I wasn't really that bothered about doing that. And then we were just like having such a good time making this music. We are like, oh shit, maybe we should do this. And, you know, we were kind of showing it to some people kind of privately behind the scenes and stuff. And it was getting a really good response. And it's kind of that thing, like the things that you like work really hard on, you try and push, you know, you can't seem to get that traction. It's the things that you like don't care about and are like do it so blasé that people want. And you're like, oh, fuck, all right, I guess that's how it goes. But
Right.
yeah, and then obviously the pandemic hit. And that kind of, I mean, it didn't like put a stop in things. Obviously, we were just, you know, writing and producing music and, you know, keeping busy during the time, but it definitely put a halt in terms of like live music
Yeah.
for everyone. Um, so just when we were like first looking to be like, oh, like we kind of are at a point where we'd like to maybe start playing shows with this and get it on the road. Like we just started releasing a first EP,
The
and then
bug.
that hit, and we
Yeah.
had to make it together. But you know, we're in the tail end of that now, and we've been really lucky, and we've taken on some great agents for the project, and we actually going to be announcing a signing pretty soon, which I will save for that.
For the next time you come on.
Yeah,
We'll do that the
yeah,
next
for
time you
next
come on.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming pretty soon. So yeah, it's kind of just been the last year was just like us doing a ton of music and just kind of getting all the behind the scenes stuff in place and the team in place. And, you know, we have a new EP that's going to be rolling out soon. And then we're going to be releasing an album this year too. So it's just going to be a ton of music, touring, getting booked up now. And so, yeah, it should just be a busy year for us. You know, I think it's a really new project. I don't think anyone really knows about it just yet, or maybe not anyone, but like it's still a brand new thing as far as like the scene and people are aware of. And I think this year is going to sort of be the introductory year for us, I think.
What kind of, you know, I hate asking this question, but honestly, we need to know the answer to it. What kind of vibe, what kind of music are we going? Like, it's so hard to
Yeah,
describe
totally.
music,
I
but
mean,
like,
the
what
stuff
would you
that's
say it is?
out, yeah, it's developed a lot because right before that, I was kind of working a lot and heavily in the like EDM scene, and I still do that. So when we started, obviously the first EP we did that's out on Spotify was this very like sync orientated thing, and it's this very like over the top kind of cinematic like rock thing. It sounded like trailer scores, but with like guitars and stuff. And we just kind of had this idea of like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if there was a project that was like trailer music, but it's like pop structured, and you like listen to it like you'd listen to any other band, but it feels like you're watching a movie trailer. Like, wouldn't that be a
Right.
cool project? So the first EP is like that, and then we released a second one called Fables, where we just got super hyped on this like really still in the same vein, but it got very like guitar-y and riffy and like kind of gothic. And the EP is like stupidly over the top. And like we have a song about Dracula, we have a song about werewolves, we have a song about
Because
Frankenstein.
why not?
And yeah, just why not? And we shot this really awesome music video in England during the pandemic in this like medieval castle for this song called Make Me a Monster, which is like, I mean, it's kind of like sort of about like Frankenstein's monster inspiration. Like it's about like building this like this metaphorical monster, but you know, the subtext is meant to be about sort of like people getting trashed online, or people in bad relationships just being like made into something that they're not, and like, you know, turning you
Right.
into this evil thing that you aren't really. And we shot this super fun video which is online, and it's these like witches doing this like ritual like dance to like bring John back to life because he's this like dead body on the floor,
Oh
and then he
my.
gets the violin solo, and it's like ridiculous. Yeah,
So
he's like
things are
got all
going
like
well.
arm and his head chopped off, and he's like bleeding everywhere, and then he like comes back to life and then just shreds a violin solo as this like zombie guy, and it's ridiculous.
Now that's fucking badass. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So people can check that out
it's
for sure. Especially the
oh
fact
yeah,
that you did like
that's
literally like in like a medieval castle, like where like Dracula and all that stuff is based on. Like that's fucking sick.
oh yeah, we had to do it real, man. If we were gonna do it, we had to do it full on and commit.
Now was it like so? I've never, I've experienced a lot of things in my life. I've never gone to, Dracula adjacent castles. Did you go in the nighttime and did you freak out?
We were there from pretty early in the morning until fairly late at night. It was like a 1 day, all day shoot, and it was freezing cold. And poor John had to be like shirtless for most of it. I remember we were like trying to do takes, and the director was like, I can kind of like see you shivering, and he's like, I can't not shiver. I'm so cold. Like
It's like I'm not
it's
acting. It's
so
real.
cold.
Shit is real.
Yeah, he had like no shoes and socks on and no shirt on. And he was laying on this like stone bench, just like freezing to death.
That's wild.
But yeah, we were there. We were there till late, and we got to explore. And it was funny. We were like a little bit worried because the owner of the castle came in the middle of the day to kind of like say what's up. And just, you know, they do filming there. She like just wanted to check out what was going on. And we were a little bit worried that she might be like, yo, what's going on? Because it looked a bit satanic in there. Like we had like there was blood and cut up people and like witches, and we were
It's all for
worried
the
she was
music,
gonna be
though. It's all
like,
for the
oh,
music video.
this
Yeah.
isn't this isn't cool. And she was like, this is so cool. She like loved it. It
Nice.
was great.
Nice.
And we had to kind of explain like, yeah, like it's satirical. Like it's not actually blood and guts and gore. It's like kind of a bit, you know.
What would I don't know what the right word would be language wise, but
Yeah,
it's an example of something. It's an alliteration or some shit for what's actually
yeah,
happening in a
yeah,
different way, as you said regarding relationships and just
totally.
all that stuff.
Yeah, like we're not a heavy band, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
not like some like
Yes. It's
deathcore thing. Like it's for all intents and purposes, it's quite a light project. It just like made sense for this song. It was like super fun. But yeah, the new EP that we have coming out, it's like slightly new direction. It's like a little bit more chill and a bit more pop, and there's definitely like a lot of like rock in there, but also a lot of kind of still the cinematic stuff and even some like electronic influence in there too. It's a really like hard project to explain, you know. I think, you know, I know people probably always say that about their music, and I find that people always say that to me, and I listen to it, and I'm like, this is just pop punk or whatever it is.
right.
In this case, I do think it is kind of a weird one. So I don't
Okay.
know. You have to just check it out and tell me what you think it is, and yeah.
No, I think that's going to be stoked, and for everybody, you can obviously follow Phil across all the social media. And where are we sending them for as far as the music goes, so they can listen to the old stuff as well?
You can just search World's First Cinema. Yeah, everything's on, you know, Spotify, Instagram,
All
Apple
the stuff. Yeah.
Music, all those things. Yeah, just search World's First Cinema, or on my page, it's all in the links and the bios and all that kind of stuff. And
And what's
Yeah.
going to be cool about this, man, is obviously you worked your ass off and you've been able to always kind of see a direction, and that's come from your playing days to also producing and writing and working with different artists. We were talking about things from like the TikTok generation that's really happening now, to those that like kind of get it, to those that don't understand it, to those that kind of just want to be like, you know how it is as a writer, and you get all these pitches and stuff, and some people are like, oh, I'll give you a shit ton of money, but like they could throw all the money in the world, sometimes it just isn't going to work with some
Yeah.
artists. Some either
Absolutely.
have it, some don't have it. It's kind of
Yeah.
a good, I guess that's a good transition, or at least a good way to ask, like, what kind of advice would you give, just based on kind of what we've said, where, you know, sometimes people think that they can just buy a single, as far as like, oh, I'll just do it, I'll just sell you tons of money, not you, but any of the big producers, whatever it might be, and you'll just make this a hit. That, dude, no,
Yeah.
you can throw all the money in the world and a song might not become a hit, even though it should be. On the flip side, a song that, you know, even the artists themselves don't ever think might be a hit becomes their biggest song, and they're like, what the hell just happened? Talk to me about that
Yeah.
aspect of it from your lens of the camera.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's one of those things where I think there's a lot that you can do to get it right. And there's a lot of like correct moves you can make to put yourself in the best chance of something happening. But as you just said, you know, sometimes it is going to be that song that you didn't think was going to go, or the one that you're absolutely convinced is going to go just doesn't. But I mean, nowadays, especially, like, I mean, it's always been a thing to, you know, have a vision past the song. I think one of the big mistakes that people are making out here is kind of, it's twofold. It's like there's either the projects that, like, you know, you might have like this great song, but, or, you know, you're a great artist, but they don't understand that, like, you can, it doesn't matter how good your song is, like, if you don't have like a sort of branded, realized vision behind it, and like what it looks like and feels like, and like what the point of it is and who the person behind it is, then it doesn't mean anything. And equally, I think now what's happening a lot is almost the inverse of that, where like people are so hung up about how it looks that they don't care about how it sounds. And I think there's a lot of projects coming out that it's just like they've got the dopest photos in the world, and they do all these like high fashion shoots, and you know, they care so much about how they look. It's like you're more of a model than an artist, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like if you just took a bit of time to make the music even half good, you'd be off the races. You know what I mean? It's like you're so close that you've got one half of the thing cooking, and you're not giving any love to the other half. And I think, at least for me, I mean, it seems so straightforward. It's like it's when you get the two things to work together that you get the magic. You know, if you can get great music and take the time to kind of like work on music and not just kind of go, all right, we found this producer, we'll do a song, cool, that's the song, right, let's go. Like, go and write a bit more music and wait till there's a song that really hits and really feels like it has a message and a point, and
Right.
then kind of partner it up with this like realized kind of branded vision. Then that's when I think you get something really special. And that's when people are like don't have a choice but to look at it, you know, whether it's like fans or industry. Like, if you have both, it's only a matter of time before it happens, you know.
Dude, that's so,
But
yeah, no, that's so true. Where it's like you can do so much of your image and all that, and curate that side of it. But the bottom line is, if you're, why not have a song that also can balance out that, or at least have a focus on the music? Because the bottom line, it is a music. If you just like
totally,
you want
people
that,
care less about that now, you know, especially with the TikTok thing. Like that, all these artists are so, there's such a percentage of, I mean, it's so hard to talk about this without sounding like some jaded old bastard, but like there's such a huge percentage of artists now that like they don't care about the art of it. And it's so transparent that they don't. And that's fine. It's not a judgment thing. Like, if you don't care, you don't care. That's no problem. But like they think that people won't see through it, and they will. It's like, yeah, you've got like dope photos, and you've got this really cool thing, and you enjoy the part where you get to go on stage or where you get to go and take photos and stuff. But like the song that you're singing, that's just like the dumbest fucking hook that I've ever heard, doesn't mean anything. Like
right?
it's just like you listen to the song, it's like, what's this about? Like you're just saying nothing. Like,
Yeah,
oh, he broke up with me again. Like, okay, all
right.
right, well, yeah,
Tell us how you really
okay.
feel. Tell us how you
Yeah.
really feel, Phil.
But then there's a lot doing the other way that's like really, really cool, and there's some people making some fucking amazing stuff. So
do you,
I don't know.
do you think that we're at, because you get tons of pitches, you see the TikTok stuff, where you work with a variety of artists. Do you think we're at when is it going to go? When does the inverse or the reverse happen, where it does kind of the paradigm shifts back? The pendulum
Yeah.
it shifts back to the other part where it's like, hey, if you have a sick riff, if you have a great hook, if you got medleys, things that made the artist and all of us fall in love with music in the first place when we were younger. If you can deliver
Totally.
that's what people will want. When do you think that happens?
Yeah.
Is it when like TikTok eventually gets shut down? Is it never going to happen? Is it when we stop relying on social media too much?
I don't know. The optimist in me kind of thinks that wheel has started turning again already, and I think there's a little bit of a change happening now. And I think new artists are still coming up on TikTok every day, but it does kind of feel like some of the ones that are coming up now, like, are a bit cooler and a bit more like there's something there, and people are connecting to it because they like recognize something special in it, and there's something that means something, and really cool things like like Olivia Rodrigo, who kind of has this like rock influence to her pop, and even though it's pop, like the songs, you really feel what they're about. They're really well written songs, and it's an amazing project, and like you really believe in it, and it's really cool. Like I think that stuff is kind of turning again now. I think people are kind of ready. I think it almost like had its little moment of like ha 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 funny TikTok songs, or like songs blowing up because they have like a joke for the lyric, and they get a trillion plays overnight because it like says a meme in the lyric or something, and you're like, yeah, that's funny, and like
Right.
I'm gonna use it on video, but like I don't listen to it,
Right.
But yeah, man, I think it's coming back. I think people are ready to start like caring about their music again in the same way they did sort of back in our day, with the bands that came up, and like
The DIY scene and everything, where it was
like the way that you believed in it because it had a point, and you felt what they were talking about, and you understood it, and you really believed in it, and then that kind of disappeared for a while. I don't know. I think that's coming back, man. I think people are ready to start having bands that they'll like die for again. Metaphorically, obviously.
Right,
like,
of course, yeah. Well, just I feel like they've all been through this bullshit. We've seen so much bullshit that, especially the last couple of years, where it's just like, give me something real to grasp onto again. You know what I mean? And then you'll always have your, I'm a like, what was the one that like, I'm a Barbie girl? Like, you always have those kind of songs that will always be there no matter what. Or like Blue, Eiffel 65, I'm Blue.
Yeah,
like, you'll have those, and those are fine. But like,
they're never gonna go away, and that's great.
Yeah, people are kind of grasping to it. Like, let me get back to something that like really I can connect with. Like you said, Olivia Rodrigo, great example of that. You can definitely one thing that she did do, and like and they and Dan's talked about this as well, is the fact that like it's real. What like getting those emotions across was always a real thing that she was able to deliver. For sure.
Totally.
I mean, and just took the music industry by storm right there, for sure. As you speak here with our buddy Phil, yes, Fil Thorpe. Everyone can go follow him across all of the social media. It's Phil, Filis, and then Thorpe right there, right here on The Gunz Show, watching live exclusively on Twitch, and of course on The Gunz Show podcast, available everywhere. That's how we do. Got a lot of great guests. Just had 21 Pilots, saw they did their 10-year anniversary of their Vessel album, which is absolutely incredible. Working on hopefully getting them back on The Gunz Show soon. Academy is all the homies coming back on The Gunz Show, and good stuff all around. Listen, man, I appreciate all that insight and everything that you'll be able to give us on that. I guess one last thing that I want to do, and then we can play some Emo Millionaire and have some fun and shoot the shit and have some laughs for a couple minutes with you, the audience out there, is you've been on. Would you say you've been on stage, been able to perform in such and do some great things, and you have this new album, new EP/album, all this new music coming out. Do you miss being on stage, jamming away, doing your thing, or have you gotten used to kind of being like the producer type role?
I don't know. I don't think so, because like even though I still perform, like I still One Cinema, it's brand new. We've only done one tour, but it was so much fun, and I do pop up playing for people every now and again, and filling in for people, and I don't know. I love playing on stage and I enjoy it, but I don't think I necessarily miss it in the sense of like, I think for some people that's like the only bit they enjoy. Like that, like it's all the work is for that moment, and that's great. And probably from the whole start of my career right up until the end of my time in Neck Deep, it was that, because when we were in the band, like we weren't producing our own music sort of thing. We were writing it, but then we'd go work with producers or whatever. But everything I've done since then, it's been about me producing and like learning that whole process and kind of doing it myself. So I don't know, I've just been on this journey of really enjoying making the music. And then it's a real good treat looking forward to playing it live. So I don't know, man. I love making music, playing music. It's all a win for me, I think. I win either way. I'm having a good time. So
As long
I'm
as
lucky.
music oriented, music adjacent, my buddy Phil's good.
Exactly. If I'm doing some music stuff, I'm having a great time. So that's good. Yeah.
Well, listen, we appreciate you. We're stoked on the new music. We're stoked for everybody out there, and also to shoot the shit and have some fun. And listen, man, you're welcome back, coming back here anytime you want. When new music does start dropping, we definitely want you to have on. We want that to, we want to tell the whole world about you, my friend. So you always know you got a friend here on the Gunz Show. Want to do something? Who Wants to Be an Emo Millionaire, real quick?
Oh, let's do it. Let's see how I do
it. Ba-ba-ba. Here we go. This is what we do, everybody. Hold on, let me move that around. There we go. For some reason, my thing. Where am I? There I am. Phil. Whoops.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just on my side. There we go. Hit the wrong button. There we go. So, welcome to Who Wants to Be an Emo Millionaire, my friends, where we do 7 quick questions about emo, pop punk, also music in general. It's a ton of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of cool things happening all around. And we've had some great people. Listen, top of the leaderboard, John from the Maine. We got Hoodie Allen up there. We've got Travis from We the Kings got 6 out of 7. Nash from Hot Shell Ray's got 3 out of 7. Travis McCoy has got 4 out of 7. Anthony from Bayside messed up his own band's question to miss the final question. So he went 6 out of 7. So it's a lot of Will from Cartel got 7 out of 7. So listen, Phil, these are some cool names, right? These are some of the homies and
man.
friends,
this
right?
is an elite scoreboard, man. The pressure's on now.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you grew up in quote-unquote the scene or whatnot, but Neck Deep toured for years. Some of my favorite tours were those Wonder years. It felt like Neck Deep and Real Friends were literally real friends. And throughout the years, because the two toured forever, it seemed, and that was such a cool, and the bands like Such Gold and even like The Graduate back in the day, and just really cool music that was coming up, and like Handguns, of course, had their moments. It was such a special time, and cool things happening all around. And then of course like the Circuit Survives that would jump on here and there, and very cool stuff, and just a special moment. And I just remember like Webster Holidays, and just obviously just then like the With Confidences would start coming up, and like just all sorts all sorts of cool stuff that was always taking place. But how would you describe your quote-unquote emo knowledge? Now, it's not too difficult, but how are you in general? Did you ever pay attention to shit when it was going on?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a middle of the pack, because I was definitely a fan before it all. It wasn't. I know there's some guys who end up in these bands that don't even know about the scene, and that's fine, obviously. But like, I definitely was very aware, and all the bands that we ended up kind of touring with and coming up with, I was listening to them at the same time as being on tour with them. I loved it. I'd say in the last sort of 5 years, I've probably dropped off quite a bit, but I don't know. I don't know if my knowledge is good. I guess we're going to find out.
Well, and luckily this is more so old school questions, so it might rehash your memory. All right?
Yeah.
Phil, are you ready to play Who Wants to Be an Emo Millionaire? Let's go. Question number 1. All right? Okay. We're gonna throw it back to some old school Blink-182. One of my all-time favorites, okay? Do you, my friend, all right? Do you remember the name of what the Blink-182 DVD
was? Which one? Because there was 2. Well, I guess it's the same name, but 1 and 2, right? It was the Urethra Chronicles, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure that's right. No, wait. You're making me second guess it now. Oh no! Wait, I've seen it a million times. Wait, hang on. Yeah, that's right. I think that's right.
Is that your final answer, though, Phil? Oh God! Oh Christ! We're gonna be all
parentheses. Right. Well, there was riding in vans with boys too, but I mean that wasn't really Blink's thing, but they were in it. But yeah, I'm sticking with it. All right.
Final answer.
Yeah.
The
I'm
Urethra
staying.
Chronicles.
Yeah.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. He is one for one.
Yeah. Oh, I'd have been gutted if I got that one wrong. I've
You
seen it
would.
so many times.
That would have been, yeah. Now, were you ever? I know Hoppus did work with you guys for a bit. Were you part of them still?
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you met them? Not to be like, oh, fanboy or whatever, but like, obviously,
Oh
you
no,
guys do have a
totally,
great
yeah.
relationship with Hoppus and stuff.
Totally, yeah. We did quite a lot of stuff with the guys. I think the first time we like spoke was when I think we were doing Live Some Out to Get You. I think I had a phone call with Mark, and I think it wasn't for anything in particular. He just wanted to like say hey and that he liked the band and that we find something to do together. And then they were doing like a one-off show in London at Brixton Academy, and they asked us to play that. So we did that. And we kind of all hung out and got to know each other a little bit then, which was great. And then we did the song together,
Yeah.
which was really cool. And then Mark was supposed to be in the music video for that, and he had to bail on the day, which was a real shame. But yeah, and then there's been a few things, like I see Mark around every now and again, and he might just drop a message to catch up here and there, and
Yeah.
but yeah, they've always been a really big supporter, Mark especially, and just really good dudes, man. Yeah, they've always been there.
I was saying the fact that Tom just posted yesterday. I tweeted out 10 weeks that they have the number one song right now with Edging for 10 weeks in a row on alt radio here in the States, and it's 2023. And for me, that effing rules. That is so fucking rad to see that they've been, you're thinking like, 97, the Budo, Cheshire Cat days into Deuterance's 99 and stuff. But the fact that they still have a number one song right now is effing
It's the Back to the Future meme where he's like, what year is it? I think it's Back to the Future or like Jumanji.
But it's still so rad. Yeah, no, of course. And I'm so stoked that they are, that they got the new album and that they're going to be touring and all that again. Dude, how was that show when all of a sudden, like, you're opening up or, like, you're part of that thing in your home country, your home city, obviously London and whatnot. And did everybody, so, like, this is a very poor example, but I just went back to Jersey and I was a huge Midtown fan, and like all my high school used to go see Midtown all the time. So Midtown just reunited for the first time, obviously in like 8 years at least. And all of a sudden, like all the people I went to high school with, not all like hit me up, but a lot of them don't have my cell phone, so they hit me up on like Facebook Messenger and other ways to get in touch with me, which I haven't used. Like obviously you, like so. All of a sudden, did everybody, even the people that you would be like, "Don't ever talk to me again," try to hit you up for that Brixton show?
I think there was definitely a handful. I don't really remember like it in that way, but there was definitely a few. Yeah, there was definitely a few people trying to jump on. I mean, I remember the day we found out because we were on Warped Tour. I think it was the first year we ever did Warped. We were right near the end, and I think our manager at the time was out, and it was just like lunch one day, and he was like, "Oh, like when you guys get back, we're gonna do a Blink show at Brixton on like the day you get home or something." And we were just like,
"Sweet,
okay,
like let's go."
Yeah, that was
man.
sick.
That's very cool to hear. Well, listen, at least you're still on Hoppus and everybody's good list right now, all right? Because you got that right. You remembered what the Urethra Chronicles was. That could have went very terrible for you out there, for you in the future. We'll take it to number 2.
That would have been bad. Yeah.
Number 2. Here we go. Speaking of Warped Tour, which of these bands never played the Vans Warped Tour? Is it A, My Chemical Romance? Is it B, Paramore? Is it C, Machine Gun Kelly? Is it D, Panic at the Disco?
Well, I know that My Chem and Paramore both did. I mean, I assume that Panic did, but I can't picture it in my head. I mean, the logical answer, I think, would be Machine Gun Kelly, because he didn't even start doing the rock stuff until Warped Tour was already over, as far as I remember. He was just doing all the rap stuff. So it would have made sense that he wasn't a part of it. But then I don't know how shysty you are. I feel like maybe there's a trick answer in here somewhere, and the obvious one isn't the obvious one. So it's definitely either Panic or Machine Gun Kelly. But then it just seems crazy that Panic wouldn't have played. But I just like can't visualize them on the stage in any video.
You are tearing yourself apart right now, and I love it.
I'm taking this seriously, man. This is a big deal. All right, I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna say Machine Gun Kelly never played.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, you did not make
No!
it. Yes.
Was it Panic?
The answer is Panic. Surprisingly.
Oh,
A lot of people don't
I
realize
knew
that
it.
Panic never played. So Machine Gun Kelly was actually years ago, and listen, it's educational. You're going to learn something. So years ago, they had a rap stage. It was like MGK was Mod. Mod was doing. Sammy Adams was doing it as well back then. Bear,
He did it the same year we did. Yeah.
Bear did some stuff as well back then as well. It was like a small rap game. But you're right. It was just rap stuff. So he was on the rap stage back in the day.
Right. That makes sense.
Before he
Yeah.
switched over to.
I mean, it explains why I said, like, I can't picture Panic on the Warp stage. Like, I can't picture a video or a photo I've seen of them, but like, it just seems crazy that they wouldn't have, like, being on Fueled by Rama and all the rest of it. Like,
you would think they would. Yeah, it just. I think what happened with them was like literally like they just took off, and then they were just never. They went straight to like arena. It's like they just never did it. That's okay. Listen, you can now get at least you're 1 for 2. You can still be 6 and 7, man. So that's okay. All right, Phil. Still hang with me.
Bring it
Okay.
back.
We still got this. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Name a band that is named after a state.
Okay.
Oh God, he's gonna go through all 50 states right now. Phil, this is one of the easiest
the only
questions
thing I can think of
This is one of the easiest questions we
Carolina, but I don't know if that counts. That's the first one that comes to my mind, Breathe Carolina, but I don't know if that counts.
Oh, we could do that.
Does that count?
I think that I'll take that. I've never gotten that answer before, so I will accept that one. All right. So good job.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Right.
The one that everyone normally says, my friend, is the Maine.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So the Maine is right there, and then you have like Alabama and shit for like whatever, like country artists will be like, oh, Alabama Shakes or something like that. So Breathe Carolina, we haven't heard before, so we'll do that one.
There you go.
All right, he's 2 for 3, everybody, right here on The Gunz Show. And who wants to be an Emo Millionaire? Make sure to always follow us, Emo Millionaire, across all the socials, Gunz, The Gunz Show, with our friend Phil right now. Question number 4. Okay. Besides Good Charlotte, name 2 other bands that have brothers in them.
Medina Lake. And they're twins too, so that's double.
And I'll just go right up there. Yeah.
And the only one I can think of right now is Greta Van Fleet, but I don't know if that counts. It's not really in the emo scene.
You can play. Listen, we don't care about seeds here. We will play any.
Oh, all
music,
right. Yeah, Greta Van Fleet.
Boom.
They're brothers, right?
Let's go. Let's go. I've got, dude. Some people have gotten lost on that one. They'll be like, "Well, the Jonas Brothers." So you know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's such a good one.
Also, you forgot about My Chem.
Oh yeah, that's such an obvious one.
It's not easy being on the spot, right, man? Although you still got it right.
Man.
You still got it right.
All
right, so you're 3 of 4 so far here on The Gunz Show with Who Wants to Be an Emo Millionaire. Just 3 more questions left for the audience members out there. We continue on right now, my friend. Name. We brought up Blink before. We'll bring this up again, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help you here, but but also putting you on the spot in case you fuck up. So it could be terrible.
Pressure's on.
Name 3 other bands that members of Blink-182 were in.
Oh, okay. Boxcar Racer, Angels and Airwaves, Plus 44.
Boom.
Oh,
nailed it.
easy.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Could you name more than that?
Transplants.
Let's go. Nailed it. Yes.
I mean, I feel like there's Simple Creatures.
See, you got that one too, man. Hell yeah. Good job, dude. Good job right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any others, right?
And some people say out trio for the when obviously when Matt was
I guess
if
I
need
guess
be you could have gone on that one, but you've got it, my friend. You are now you're up to 4 for 5 right now. We've got 2 more questions with our buddy Phil here from well, obviously formerly from Neck Deep and more. You can follow him, Phil, Filis Thorpe, Thorpe. For all the listeners out there here on the Gun Show and more, got new music. All sorts of great things are happening for him, and make sure to drop him a follow and get ready for all the new music. Question number 6, my friend. Okay. Here we go. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, I have so many that are in my mind, but like I'm trying to think. Oh, do you know this one? Boys Like Girls. Okay, Boys Like Girls teamed up with this famous singer to tell us that 2 is better than 1. Do you know who that singer is? Do you remember that song? 2 is better than 1.
Oh God.
This isn't really emo. Could be a little rough on you, but the more you know, it's okay. Do you know the song? Can you picture the song? It was a big hit, top 40.
Yeah, I kind of can. And I know as soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Well, how about this? Whenever this happens, why don't you just, you can always guess just a random ass singer. Very popular.
Yeah. For some reason, I want to say Brandy Carlisle, but I don't think that's right. I don't even know why I want to say that. But
you'll know this song by heart once I'm done with it, because you're gonna go listen to it and hate yourself because you're gonna be like, "Fuck, I should have got that right."
I'm trying to figure out when it happened, because that'd probably help. I mean, I feel like it was probably in the era of like Kelly Clarkson and people like that. It's got to be something along that lines. Oh God, I don't know, man.
Just pick a giant superstar back in the day. 2 is better than 1. Boys Like Girls. Name of the song.
That's really tough. I like actually don't know what it is.
Just throw a name. Just throw a female artist name out there. It's okay if you don't know it. You'll still be on towards the top of the leaderboard, my friend.
But I'll hate myself. All right, I'm just gonna stay with Kelly Clarkson, even though I don't think that's right.
You were kind of close, because you were kind of in that right era. It's actually Taylor Swift.
Oh fuck! That's like, I should have known that. Holy shit!
2 is better than 1 is a song. It was like top 40. I understand it was a little bit difficult for sure. Kind of some people forget about it. Some people do remember it though. But yes, 2 is better than 1 was kind of like right when she was like coming up on that, becoming like superstar. Yeah. You can go listen back to it though. It's a song back and forth. You can text me if you like the song. All right, let me know if you like the song. Once you listen to it, as soon as you hear it, you'll be like, "Fuck, that was right." So that's okay though, man. So we're 4 for 6 so far. Maybe we'll throw in a bonus question. Maybe we'll do something else. But before we get to that, here is. We'll ask you this: in the song "I Do Anything" by Simple Plan, who sings the bridge?
Hoppus.
Boom. Okay, so he's now 4.5. You've got 4.5.
Okay, nice.
Right.
Nice.
So we're gonna prepare you up. I should just give you a blink. I should just give you a blink.
Yeah. Yeah.
God help us.
It's my specialty, I guess.
All right. Final question. This would get you 5.5. That's very high up on the leaderboard. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bands that were lower than you. You're up there. Okay.
I want to be there.
You're up there. You're up there. Here we go. He's got 4.5 questions right. For the final question on Who Wants to Be an Emo Millionaire, live here on the Gun Show, my buddy Phil. Here we go. We're going to take it back to early Neck Deep days. All right, my friend?
Okay. See how good my memory is. Jesus.
We always end the show on a question about the band themselves, even if it's a former band or anything like that. Okay. So.
Okay.
In 2014, what song were you opening your set with?
That's insane. I have no idea. Okay, I can probably like reverse engineer this.
Talk it out. He goes, "That's insane."
2014. So that must have been.
You were playing like Granada Theater and like.
Must have been like
Marquee
Wishful
Theater,
Thinking.
Bottom Lounge in Chicago. So.
I want to say Losing Teeth. I feel like I remember that being the opening to our set for that time. But
Talk it out. What do you think the set would have been? You were headlining, by
So
the
I'm
way.
thinking like it's got to have been around the Wishful Thinking album cycle, I think. I don't remember exactly when that came out, but I think so. As far as I remember, our first show was in December of 2012. I think, could be wrong. I think, and then
You're talking 10
the
years ago.
the first album came out pretty quick after that, and we did the music video for it. Okay. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of the other songs on the first EP that could have. Oh, maybe it was Tables Turned though. Ooh. Okay, I think. Oh God. My two. It's either Losing Teeth or Tables Turned. I think. Hopefully, one of those is right. I'm gonna go with Losing Teeth. I think that's what it was.
Phil, is that your final answer, my friend?
It is. Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're wrong.
It was the other one, Phil. It was the other
The tables
one.
turned.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, hey, I narrowed it down to two. That was not too bad.
That was good. That was that.
How often do the band people get the one about their own band wrong?
All the time, actually. A lot of
Okay,
times,
that's good.
I guess. So
Yeah.
actually,
It makes sense, man. We care way more about other people's bands than we care about our own. Like we live for what we hear, not what we make.
Actually, so here's the thing. Let me explain it. I said the tour, but you might have still gotten it right because on Warped Tour, you actually did open with Losing Teeth.
Well, there you go. I mean, you said 2014, so
Yeah,
that's
so
a
you were
that's a
good.
lot of shows.
And you also that year started with Kick It as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, that makes sense too, actually.
But the one I was going for in my mind was, of course, what'd you go? Did you say table? You said tables. You said Losing Teeth.
I said Losing Teeth, but I was like, it's either Tables Turned or Losing Teeth.
Right. Yes.
I know
in my
that
mind, I was going for the
various points in that year. I think we were switching backwards and forth. I think the year
Yes.
started off with it being Tables Turned, and then somewhere in that year the album came out, and then we switched it to Losing Teeth because it was the first song on the album.
Well, you listen, man. I think. What do we do? Are we giving you another half a point for that? You might actually no. We got to give you the full thing. We got to give you 5.5 there. Because you did say
you're
right.
in charge here, man.
We'll give you 5.5 out of 7, Phil. Phil,
right,
because you did
I'll
say
take
it
it.
right. There were just 3 tours that year. The tour that I was thinking of, you guys were headlining. It was Tables Turned, into Crushing Grief, into Damsel in Distress.
Wow.
All hype, no heart. Over and over. Say What You Want. Silver Lining. I Couldn't Wait to Leave 6 months ago. Losing Teeth, into Part of Me, into Kick It, into What Did You Expect?
Damn. What a set list, huh?
What a set list, right? God help us. 2014, leave it in the past. No, very cool stuff. Listen, Phil, you did all right, man. 5.5 out of 7, my friend. How do you feel? You're not a full millionaire, but you're like 100,000-aire.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I feel good. I'm proud of myself.
What's the name of the cat?
This is Tuna, but I just call her Egg. So it's the Egg.
Okay. Well, even Egg will be happy with your performance today. 5.5 out of 7. We will have you back. Do you have any final words for everybody out there, Phil, about your performance on Emo Millionaire? I know it's gonna haunt you. We've had people throw stuff. We've had people break things on here, getting their own band questions wrong. So at least you got yours right, though. So congrats on that.
Yeah, just it's harder than it looks. That's all I'll say.
All the pressure in the world. Check him out. Of course, follow him. Dude, come back on once we can premiere new music from you. Congratulations on everything. Very cool. Really mean it, man. Congratulations, and continue writing and doing the damn thing and some great music for everybody out there.
Will do, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
That's our buddy Phil. This is Gunz. This is the Gunz Show. Who wants to be an Emo Millionaire? Follow us everywhere. Adobe Radio, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Twitch partner, everything like that. Cool things happening all around. If you don't know now, you do know it's Gunz, the Gunz Show. We are balling. Let's go.